quick late night message through Oracle. Um, I was just getting ready to actually turn in for the night. I was getting ready to be done. Even have like blurred mascara, but I was guided to get in here before going to bed. So I'm not sure why, but that's been my journey. Well, forever is I listen to the messages that I get. I listen to the intuition, and I listen when I'm being asked to do something by spirit. And I was asked to come in here, and to give an oracle message for tonight. Hi, Mandy and Aaron and Shauna and Raquel, Camille. Hi, everyone. So as I was guided to come in here, I was asked to mention asked to speak a little bit about the timing of, not so much the timing, I guess, the energy that has been affecting a lot of people right now. Hi, everybody who's joining. Wow, the place is filling up quite quickly here. I was just trying to bring it up on my phone so I can see, because there is a delay. This is not planned. Sorry, this was not planned, and I did one yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I was on for or day before. I broadcast it for over 90 minutes, and somehow it ended up on my personal page and not on my business page. So a lot of people missed out on it, and I had done a bunch of readings while I was in there as well. So sorry, I did share it. It did have a big channeled message through most of the session. So if you want to really listen to the channeled message that was in that broadcast, just scroll down on my business page or on my YouTube, and you'll see I shared, well, on YouTube it was actual live. So you'll see the last live I did on YouTube on my business page. You can see that I shared it from my personal page, but it is a huge message in there for us. So if you want to go back and listen to that one, you can as well. Tonight, I'm just in to do a message from Oracle. I was on my way to bed. My bedroom's across from this office, and I have my daughter and my granddaughter here, and they're in bed. So I'm in here, and I was asked through channel to come in here, and the first thing that came up to me was about the rainbows and how many rainbows we have been seeing this year. And when we've been seeing all these rainbows, what I'm being told and how this is resonating through me is that it is a sign of hope. It's a sign of faith. There's that from spirit world, from the divine, from the ascended masters who were angelic beings who lived on earth prior. They were human form at some point in their lives. And so these, most, not all, but these ascended masters that are coming through are telling us that this time is that, this time shall pass and this time shall change. And a lot of things that we are actually seeing and what we're experiencing is a lot of I can only resonate it. The way I'm getting this message tonight is that I can only resonate it to the sense of I'm going to go biblical here for a second, Jezebel. So if you've ever read the Bible and you know of the story of Jezebel in the Bible, that's the only, sorry, I did spend time in Sunday school and in a Pentecostal school. So I know about the Bible, and I still study the Bible. I study everything. There's nothing I don't study. I'm very open-minded, and I want to know a lot, and I want to know this wisdom. So, but what I'm getting is that you're seeing a lot of this kind of energy that's really testing us and challenging us to stop thinking and using our own free will. And what you're being told is that there really is to still remember during these times that you have been gifted with two amazing gifts: creativity and your free will. And creativity is not just to be an artist. Creativity is to use your mind, is to be able to use your mind to think for yourself, to come to your own conclusions, and to not to make conclusions that are fear-based, or to come to conclusions about people that you really don't know. And so when we take everyone's words to be, it's like, well, they said this, so this has to be true. Well, do you personally know them to know exactly what kind of integrity they have? Or when somebody else is very quick to judge somebody and to say, they're this, they're that, they're these monsters, they're horrible people. Do you know them personally? Do you personally know them? And so what we're being told is to be creative with our minds, to use our own minds, to be very uh, mind oriented, but following our heart essence. Your heart speaks to you, and your heart tells you. That's the spirit speaking from the inside out. So as Oracle was telling me about the rainbows, is that this year we have seen a lot of rainbows. I've seen more than I've ever seen this year in front of my house. A lot of double rainbows. Those are pauses. They make you pause and think. So they are like that light of hope is what I feel. What is coming through to me is that we have this light of hope, and there has been a lot of energy. I've got a lot of messages from a lot of people who are really struggling during these times. We've held on to as much faith as we could. We've tried to be strong. We've tried to be courageous, and people are running out. People are running out of patience. People are running out of money. Trust me, I'm like everyone else. I am as human as everyone else. And I always say, don't judge because you don't know. Don't assume somebody has more than you because they might even have a bigger house. They might have a newer car. We're all struggling in one way or the other. We're all affected by everything that had happened out there and everything that's still affecting us. Businesses, small businesses, we're getting our asses kicked. We don't have the financial help that a big business has, or that individuals that have employed that have that can get all the other things may be able to get. There's a lot of that we can't get. So we're really running on empty tanks right now. And while we're running on empty tanks and we're running out of everything, we're also now at our most vulnerable, which means that we're also able to be filled up with either the good stuff or the bad stuff. So this is where that kind of Jezebel-y energy comes in that I got, that it keeps coming through, or that Lucifer-y kind of energy, if you work with angels like I do. It's that this is the time when we can be so easily influenced and filled up on impersonators, on false light, on not true energy. And that's why when I'm not well, you're not going to see me. When I'm not feeling my best, I'm not coming in here. I don't do shit that I'm not ready to do. And I don't come in and speak when I'm just too exhausted to do this. I make sure if I'm going to do this, you're going to get the best of me. No matter what. It's like, I can't give it if I don't have it. And that's kind of where we are in life right now, is we're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And I'm seeing it around me. I'm seeing it in the messages. I'm seeing people saying, I'm losing my patience with my kids. I just need them to go back to school. I need life back. When we're uncomfortable is when change happens. And part of the spiritual experience of really going this deep where I've gone during my journey is that when you just start to feel comfortable and then you stop doing all the other stuff, then that's usually where we get stuck. Well, we're in a period of time where we don't get that opportunity to be comfortable or say, oh, you know what, this is just comfortable. We can make this work. This is our new normal. Well, new normal's bullshit. That's not your new normal. And that's all of these things that are happening are a part of the change. It doesn't mean that that's the permanent change. Keep thinking of it as temporary, and keep thinking that during these times is an opportunity for us while we're empty, while our tanks are empty, while our bank accounts are empty. This is an opportunity for magic and miracles. This is an opportunity for something great to happen. This is a great time. This is a time when something big may change. You may make a big change in your life. Something that you kept hanging on to, holding on to, staying in the same place, not willing to make a change in career, jobs, whatever it may be. This is when it may all start to take place. You might just say that, fuck it, and throw it all and say, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. Fuck it, I'm going to apply for a student loan. I'm going to apply for school. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this for me. And so this is the time when there's an opportunity now, and we have an opportunity. Those rainbows I'm seeing, every time I see them, I'm like, it's not just one, there's two. So if there's two, that means it's twice the opportunity, twice the abundance. Oh my God, what a chance this may be. And it's like, and I really truly have moved beyond coming to any conclusions. And as I'm writing the fourth book and writing through that fourth book, I laugh a gutful because the book is called my title that everyone says you should write a book about. It is, you can't make this shit up. It is the magic and miracles. And I talk a lot about the conclusions and how conclusions can actually start to be how we define people or how we stop ourselves. And what if there's when you look at life and you look at the life as being eternal and infinite, it's that there's really no conclusion. It's a continual story. It's the never, never land. And so when you look at the fairy tales and you look at it's always the never, never land. The endings are always open to either interpretation or a continual. So we can have a part two. We can start a new story. And so much of this is really about a opportunity to have a new story. So tonight I wanted to come in and do a couple of oracles during these tough times that people are going through, during these hard times that we may still be feeling, or we're just empty, we're just out of gas. We've run out of freaking gas and we're just tired and we want to feel comfortable again. We want to feel safe again. But were we really comfortable? Were we really, really comfortable? Were we not exhausted? Were we not overworked? Were we not freaking just beating ourselves to death in trying to make everybody else happy, trying to please, trying to keep up, trying to, so were we really comfortable? Were we really there? No, we weren't. And so there's a lot of, not saying we didn't have comfortable moments. And is that where your joy and happiness really was? And so my journey, the More Than Existing book, is about finding that joy and happiness, which means getting honest with yourself, telling yourself the truth, speaking the truth to yourself, taking ownership, responsibility, saying my version of the story that I've been telling forever that leaves me being a victim was actually from the 5-year-old, was actually from what the 5-year-old seen, experienced, or was from what the 20-year-old. Well, now at 49 years old, I couldn't tell the same story. And if that's what holds you and you're only just existing in life, that ain't gonna work. We need to be able to more than exist. And I remember my grandma, whose funeral would have been around this time 13 years ago. And I remember her just telling me, find contentment. Find contentment. Find that joy, that place of happiness. And no one out there can provide that for you. That's something you have to find. You have to find that. And I know she's seen that sadness in me. I know she's seen me always trying to reach and search and seek for something. She knew I was always doing that. She knew I could never fully find that. I was looking for something through everyone else. I was still telling myself an old story. And now, where I am now, I'm in the same boat everybody else is in. I'm in that freaking struggle boat in the human world and in a lot of ways. But my faith, as I used to say in the beginning of this whole COVID thing, I'm on a faith train and I'm not getting off. I spent too many years on it. I'm not quitting now, because if I quit now and I get off the train, somebody else is going to get on the train. Someone else is going to take my faith. I'm staying on. And so I'm holding on. And I believe in that double rainbows I'm seeing. I believe that after the storm, that when we get to stand up, after the storm, who will you be? How will you show up? What do you want? What do you want to be able to be that legacy we leave behind? What is that image? And as I said in the video I just did a couple days ago, I'm like, it's really truly time for us as adults to grow up. Why are we bullying each other? Why are we beating each other up? Why are we being so mean to each other? Why are we doing that? Remember, kids are watching. And by growing up, it means making choices from our higher self, not from our injured, hurt 5-year-old. I got a great course in Corey School of Magic called Inner Child Healing. It's for healing that part of us. And it's a great course. And so this time is really about us stepping up. Our children are watching. Be an example. Show them the rainbows and remind them of the hope. Remind them to have faith. Because when you're sitting at home and you're complaining and they hear it, what faith do they have in going back to school? Or if you're so fearful and now you've instilled them in that fear, what's that doing? Take the high road. Step into our higher self. Let's be this person. Let's come from this place. Let's look at things a little bit differently. Let's get a new perspective. And as Oracle was coming through for me tonight, and as you know, anyone who's been following me for a long time, you know that I channel. You know I channel through these messages. Corey, when I'm just being just myself in my normal everyday thing, I've had to really catch myself in my moments of wanting to complain, wanting to feel sorry for myself, wanting to be there. I've been tired. I've been exhausted. I've taken breaks. I was saying in the last live that I did that you guys, a lot of people here didn't get to see, was I a few weeks ago had been giving up mediumship. And I heard randomly, Corey, you need to do a group. Book it now. Put it out there. Say you're going to do a group mediumship. You need to do this. And I did it. And I heard myself. And I watched a video after. And I never watched my videos. And I seen a glow. I seen a smile. I was ready to give up on something that is such a part of me that I have fought so hard for. And that's the medium. That's what I do. That's the part of me, the mystic, the odd and weird, the magical and the miracle parts of me that I was going to give up because sometimes the attacks, the pressure that's laid upon you, that energy when people are not in their finest forms comes back on the mirror reflections. And it just takes you to the point that you're just like, I'm done. I'm done. Well, that was how the More Than Existing book started. And when I seen that, I'm like, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm actually only just beginning. Because in the ending of everything that I've had to let go of, I found myself having fear as the book came out. I found myself having fear as the programs came out. I found myself having those moments of, am I good enough? Can I do this? And when I found myself hearing people's judgment or hearing people speak about me or people not supporting or anything like that, I really had to step back and go, you know what? People are just not on the same page and people are always going to judge. It's like, that's just how life is. And I always say, no one builds your reputation. Other people do that. But you know your integrity. You know that you are worthy and that what work we put in, we are worthy and deserving of what comes back. We are worthy of receiving. We have to be open to accepting what comes back to us for the action steps we put in. If you put shit into your life, if you do nothing for yourself, if you sit there and complain and whine, say nothing's happening, nothing's going, but you're not doing nothing, nothing can come. I am doing what I was called upon to do and living the life that I am now choosing because I am choosing me and I'm choosing to be me. Please do not be you. And during these times, don't start going backwards on the forward momentum that you put into being you. Be you. Live as you. Live your best life. You're here to live the best human that you can be. That's what the More Than Existing program is. It's truly about becoming the best of us. It's self-actualization, empowerment, it's healing. It's all of that stuff. I'm a healer. I work as a spiritual healer. But I'm human. And that's what you have to remember. No matter what roles you play, you're human. You are human. So be the best human that you can be. That's my advice to each and every one of you. And I think that's why I needed to come in here. And I'm not sure who owned that or who needed to hear that. But that's where we are. And the best way, and I'm going to give you this card and I'm going to tell you, that the best thing that you can do for yourself is to go silent. And when you don't see me, when you don't hear from me, I'm going into silence. I, a few years ago, started doing this, reading these books and taking this, like little quizzy things and stuff. That was all based on lead like Jesus. And Jesus was a healer who walked on earth. And it was called Lead Like Jesus. And, what I always tell people is take what you need, take what resonates with you, and leave the rest behind. There were some things in it that does not resonate with me. I do not agree with, but there were some things that really resonated with me. Lead Like Jesus was, if you can archetype your life by anybody, would be to archetype it, to lead, to be like Jesus, to be someone who is non-judgmental, that respects all, that has an open mind, that's loving, supporting, that energy was what really resonated with me. And so that also includes you. You have to treat yourself that way. You really do. And so the card that I'm coming out with for you tonight, I have two for you. I'll give three, but there's two. And sorry, I'm not pulling individual cards tonight. I wanted to just give this. I was on my way to bed. So it's quieting the mind. And it's really, truly about silence. When we sit in silence, when we give ourselves that pause, and I don't mean like get into a prayer, get into a meditation and start asking for everything you need in desperation. It's like, oh my God. Because if we pray and we meditate only when we're desperate, that don't work. We put that effort into when we're in our joyous time, when things are going well. We say thank you. We have gratitude lists. We create momentum by staying in that energy. So when we are in a time of struggles and a hard time, go silent. Sit in absolute silence. Ask for nothing. Just surrender. Just let it go. I don't know the answers. I don't know. And I live every day as if I know nothing. I start every day that way. I know nothing. I'm open to possibilities. I'm open to learning. I'm opening to listening. I'm opening to hearing. And I'm opening to receiving. I'm opening to receiving. And I just let it go. And so in that silence, just let it go. Just let yourself go quiet, go still. Have nothing to ask for and nothing to say other than I let it go. And I'm open to receiving whatever there is to be for me. And over it, you might not get no answers in the moment, in the time, but it's that peace you start to feel. It's called serenity. It is called being at peace. When we're at peace, when we stop, worry doesn't change a thing. Trust me, I'm queen of it sometimes. Worry doesn't change a thing. It doesn't fix nothing. It doesn't make your problems go away. It doesn't pay your bills. It does shit all. So if it's not doing nothing for you, why do we put so much effort into it? Why do we give so much energy to that? And so to find mind, body, soul connection, to bring ourselves to that peace, it is a practice. We start practicing those things. Putting that effort in. And then the second card that I'm coming with is a Merry Motive. I'm not reading from the book of the Oracle cards. These are Colette Baron Reid's new one. These are the Oracle of 7 Energies. My cards hopefully will have out by January or February. I think we have 20-something cards now created. So mine are the Everyday Goddess cards. They're called From the Shadows, and they are the Everyday Goddess cards. And they're being designed, painted. They're incredible. And so a merry motive is like, what is your motive, or what is your motive for, how do I put this? What do I want to say with this? So when you put out a message, or you call up a friend, or you speak to somebody, what is your motive? What is it that you're searching or seeking when you do something kind, do something nice for somebody? Are you expecting something back in return? Are you expecting the good stuff to come back in? And it's like, are you expecting something back? When we expect nothing back, Well, you're always then when we do get something back, it's like a gift. We get an opportunity to receive something back, a gift back. And so you can also start manifesting and putting out there what you would like to see your future look like, what you would start like to see starting to create within your life. And that means that when you start to put that out there, and then when you start without expectations and you start to see the good things coming in, or you start to see changes, even if it's that big, it's a beautiful change. It's a beautiful change. Something beautiful is happening for you. And you're allowing that something beautiful to happen. And it's like, ah, look, it's something good. I get excited about finding a freaking feather. And I've just let all my feathers go. Just for let them all go. I go to get in my truck tonight to get milk for my daughter at the store. And I open my truck and I go to get in. And there's a little black feather on the seat of my truck. And I let all the feathers. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a feather. And I got so excited. I got so excited over a little black little feather. But I asked for signs. Well, that's a sign. So if we don't see nothing and we stay just that closed vision or just that one perspective, and we're just looking straight ahead, and we don't see all the little magic and miracle moments that are happening around us, then we stop expecting, or then we start expecting things to happen and disappointed when they don't. But when we see the magic miracles and we just look at it like, oh my God, what I asked for is coming through. So I have this sweet little boy who lives near me, and he said to me that he had wished for a Power Wheels, a little, like one of those little driving around vehicles. And he says to me yesterday, he says, Corey, and I said to him, I said, your wish, I said, sometimes your wishes are even bigger than what you ask for. When you just throw it out there. You don't wait for it to come back. But what if your wish sometimes is bigger than what you ever imagined? If you don't just get stuck on one vision, one thought, I said, think big. So I said, what if that Power Wheels turns out to be a bigger wish than what you ever imagined? He said, maybe. Well, he came over yesterday, and his family had just bought a brand new vehicle. He's like, look at that, Corey. Look at that. I said, see? I told you, magic and miracles. Look how big your wish turned out to be. Look how it got answered. Through the eyes of a child, I seen awe. Through eyes of a child, I seen sparkle. I seen the magic and miracle moment. And my heart was filled in that moment. My heart was filled. So sometimes what you give out, and if nothing is coming, you're like, well, how come they're not giving nothing back? Or how come they're not doing nothing back? What if coming back to you is bigger than what that person could ever give to you? What if it's not from that person? But what if it has been seen and it's being handed back to you in such big ways? Remember that. Remember that. Because there's so many over there working for us on the other side. So many working for us on the other side. So let yourself dream big. And then I'm going to do the last one. Then I'll just look back through some of my messages here. Sorry, I'm not looking at all your messages. I'm trying to stay channeled into the channel message they have for you tonight. Because I didn't come in to pull cards. I just come in to do this for you tonight. Let me see. Let's see where this goes. A powerful move. And the world, so our world is bigger than Earth. Our world is bigger than your little community. And I remember when my daughter was going to college, and she used to say this. She'd say, you feel like you're this, you live in your town, you feel like you're this big person, everybody gets to know you, you're living your life, and people know you think everybody knows everything about you. You think everyone knows you. You think that's what we think. That's our mind, right? We get caught in that. Everybody knows everything I do. Everybody's copying me, or everybody's trying to be like me, or those are stories we tell ourselves. Because that's what we get caught in. When when she moved to a great big city and she moved to Toronto to go to school, she said, "Mom, I get what you mean when you say we're a little pea. We are this small. We mean nothing. Nobody knows you. There is millions of us, and we're all exactly the same, all the same. We might look a little bit different, but we're all the same. We're all just humans buzzing around in this great big city. You don't matter. Nobody cares. They're just like, you're just another human. You're just another person. You're just," and she said it really was a new perspective that you put on life. That we are really that small in the spectrum. So when you look at our world, we have, so if you look at yourself in your home, well, you take up a lot of space. If you look at yourself in your yard, you take up a little less space. If you look at yourself in the town, well, you take up only a small space. If you look at yourself in the world, you take up a speck. If you look at yourself in the universe, you're almost non-existent. You're a little dot. You're that small. And the universe, our world that we live in, is this big. So why do we make a problem, or why do we make, our issues to be this big? Why do we think that it's way bigger than what it is? Or why do we live thinking that in this one-dimensional thinking that we get so caught up in the little things? We get so caught up in this right here that we think nothing of that, like nothing can be solved. This is my world. This is my problems. Actually, very few people actually know us. No matter how big you are, there is still a whole world who don't know who you are. So even if they're celebrities and they say, "Oh, well, the whole world knows that celebrity." No, they don't. No, they don't. There's a whole world that doesn't even have the internet. They don't even have freaking TVs. They don't have phones. They don't have any of that shit. Do you think they're really that concerned about what celebrities are doing or worried about what we're doing? The world is bigger than us. So why do we give so much power and so much energy to something that we make a small thing become so much bigger than what it is? Or why do we put that much emphasis on us? And when we get that much emphasis on us and what we're struggling through, then everything of that takes over and consumes us. If we step away from ourselves and put our focus into somebody else, helping somebody else, handing out something, going out and offering to volunteer somewhere to do something, or to be able to just look at the world in a different way, reach out and help somebody somewhere else who is less fortunate. When we do that, we take it away from ourselves. We take that and we move that energy away from ourselves. But our light of us can be this big. But when we live in our shadow self and we get so caught up in trying to run away from ourselves, or caught up in what other people have done to us, or other people's words against us, and we allow that to dull our light, we get so tucked into this shadow that we forget we have this beautiful light. We forget that this is home, and we forget about how big and powerful our intentions, our thoughts, our words, or how big just our light is. So when we light up, not imposter light, not false light, true light, when we light up, when we become big, when we allow ourselves to be small, but our light be big, we truly then start to be able to light up our own way so that we can actually see. In my book, I talk about the so-called enemy. Through the eyes of the so-called enemy, I see me. It was through all of the versions of myself. It was through that I became my own worst enemy. And I took all that and I just manifested that into so many things and internalized and caused illness and depressions, anxieties, all of these things. And I kept trying to run from these parts of me that were truly me. but I was also allowing that shadow parts of me to still run the show. And when you allow that, it really starts to affect a lot of you. And so when we move that aside, when we look at solutions instead of problems, when we step out of misery, it's like pain happens, those things are real. Misery is a choice that we continue to put ourselves in. We start out, we're hurt, we're painful, and then we just go and we get into the state of misery. And misery are those emotional stories that we keep telling ourselves. And then they become our whole world. And that consumes us and consumes us and consumes us. And before you know it, our light is no longer shining. And then we get one-dimensional thinking. Then we get closed off and we're not willing to forgive. We get judgmental. We get resentful. We get defensive. We get offended easily. We become nasty. It's like sometimes we become assholes. And it's like, when we let go of that and we allow ourselves to see the bigger picture, look at the rainbows, look at the stars, look at the moon, look at the trees, look at the things that can coexist and not get into a fight or an argument or think that one needs to shine brighter than the other. Look at us. Look at that. Look at the energy that is around us. See yourself small, but your light big. See your problems as an opportunity that we can now start seeking and searching for solutions. Let's go to the solutions and start looking at it and like, how can I start to make a change for the better? What can I do on my end? Because if there's things I can't control that are out of my control, and during these times, this is now a time that, you know what, we are exhausted. We are empty. We're done. We've been bored. And so this is an opportunity to ask, fill me up with the good shit. Fill me up with the good stuff. Fill me up with the light. I'm ready to now listen. I'm ready to truly be absorbed. And that doesn't mean listening to people yelling at us, telling us how we're supposed to think. We have free will. We have creativity. You have free will so that you get to choose for yourself. And that you have that creativity of your mind to be free in your mind to truly think for yourself and think, you know what, I think I'll read all of that and I think I will get both sides and I think I'll listen to a lot and I'll build my own thought. Thank you. I don't need you to tell me how I should think or how I should be or how I should live. I think maybe I'd rather just, I respect that of you, but I'd appreciate you respecting me back in return to allow me to make my own judgments. And when we treat each other that way, well, we're growing up. We're thinking from our higher selves. Bring yourself there. Think from that place. And allow your life to shine from there. Can't stop until the channel messages are out. Like I said, I wasn't coming in and I was just heading to bed and I just heard go in. So that's why I'm in with you tonight. Let me look back up. I am supposed to be on holidays really, but I've been sneaking in. I've been sneaking in places even though I'm supposed to be on holidays. Hi, everyone who has been joining. Hello, hello, hello. So nice to see you all. So nice to see my regulars, but it's so nice to see new people as well. I love to see that this is continuously growing. I'm so appreciative of everyone who follows, everyone who is there to take my meditations, to take advantage of all of that the school has to offer, that this page has, that my YouTube channel has to offer, all the Zodiac videos that I put out. I'm so glad they resonate with a lot of people and that they do help in these times. That's my way of giving back, is that I find my places where I can give back, and it's offering out my thoughts, my wisdom, the channel messages, doing those things where I can give back so that there is a balance of giving and receiving for the work that I do. And if you want to book a personal session, go to my website, CoreyThorne.com. And if you want to book a regular reading, like a reading with me, it's under Spiritual Intuitive Guidance, because my sessions are a little bit of everything that I do, including the mediumship, including the coaching. It's one thing to receive a message from spirit world to get a message and say, oh, they're fine, da da da, or they want to tell you this, want to tell you that. But they're coming through so that they can help us heal. There's more to the mediumship than just the wow factor. It's not about the wow factor. It's about what are you going to do for yourself to take yourself into the journey of healing after the reading from that time. And it's, I always say, it's not about ever listening to a recording. Once you have the message is in here. And when the time is right, when you need it, it comes back. It's really amazing when you allow the process to unfold. I'm glad that helps a lot of people. I'm just reading through. Um, I'm glad this resonates with a lot of people tonight, and I'm glad it makes a lot of sense for people. Sorry I wasn't doing any personal cards. I did that yesterday or day before in my other session that I did, and there was another channel message in there as well. I will be back on Sunday. I will be back doing all cards. It'll be an Ask Corey, couple hours or hour and a half, whatever time I'm in. So I will be back on Sunday, doing my regular reading for everybody not everybody, for the ones who are chosen. So it'll be Ask Corey time again. And so Sunday I will be back, and I will be back doing all the regular sessions that I do. So come back on Sunday. I will post a time, and you will have your opportunity to ask me a question or ask for a card during that time. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just quickly just gazing through. Um, Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for always joining me. And I will be back again on Sunday. I will put up a countdown clock. I use Be Live broadcasting. So there will be a little clock that comes up that counts down. So, but Sunday I will be back in. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here with me, and much love to everyone, and have a good night. Bye-bye.